Spastic cerebral palsy is a disease that causes a person's muscles to stay tense all of the time, making voluntary movement stiff and awkward. Sometimes it affects the entire body, but often it will only affect one half. To simulate cerebral palsy, we wrapped Schwen's elbows and hands to make moving or bending them difficult, and then asked her to complete several ordinary tasks.
During the experiencing, I realized all the small activities like scratching and typing are really difficult to do. Small objects become so hard to control. It's so frustrating that I can't accomplish those little things. But after practice, I gradually get used to the activities like mopping floor and wiping table. The design inside is that control device should be simple, clear, and buttons should be not too small. Functional illiteracy means that you can read and write simple things, but it's hard to interpret complicated languages. We put our reading materials for group meeting into all kinds of hard-to-read fonts for Casey. He has to read them and discuss the content with us when we are reading the same thing in normal font.
Because I'm used to scanning and reading multiple lines of text, I found myself straining my eyes to read every word in sequential order. I often felt that my group became impatient with me, even though I was trying my hardest. The design insight we gained was to give simple and clear instructions. I should be able to take in information at a comfortable pace that I can read and understand without any pain.
I know what a whole rocket looks like, but I don't know what the pieces look like.
So it's kind of like this shape.
I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't gotten there yet. You have to give me some time here to read that.
Well, so the upper stage of the vehicle is like this shape.
Oh, well, I couldn't do it. Can't do it.
Wait a minute. What does this really say?
Yeah.
Obsessive-compulsive disorder involves obsessive, intrusive thoughts, which the person tries to control through rituals. To simulate this, we hooked up an alarm clock set to random times to a pair of headphones that Lorelei wore. Whenever an alarm went off, it continued until Lorelei completed a ritual.
Maybe just when you walk up to it and start using it, like it could just be a little video sequence that like starts sort of on the earth and moves out.
So if it moves out, alright.
And it so it moves out like gradually and shows you the junk that's in it.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't concentrate on anything else while the alarm was going off, I sometimes missed important conversations. The design insight we gained was that any important instructions should be persistent. I should be able to find out what I need to know at any time during an experience. We went to the Science Museum in Boston and found many of the exhibits there simple, accessible, and most of all, fun. We wanted to take this spirit into our prototype. With this in mind, we began research about a topic interesting to us, the space junk in Earth's orbit. We found out there were many different types of junk, including satellites and leftovers from previous missions to outer space. We decided to create an exhibit that would center around the removal of this trash. The goal of our museum exhibit is to introduce children to the existence of orbital debris or space junk through a fun, interactive game. We want the exhibit participants to experience the sense of being on an urgent and important mission that puts them in charge of saving valuable scientific data. The action takes place in a large, dark room around which are scattered small replicas of space junk objects. Several objects are blocking the Hubble telescope's view of a solar eclipse, and it is up to the player to clear the way. The player is briefed about their mission, including cards explaining specific objects to find and destroy, and then equipped with a laser junk destroyer, a large and easy-to-manipulate flashlight with two settings, one to light the way and one to shoot the space junk. The laser junk destroyer represents the child's means of control over their environment, their tool for completing the mission. However, it only has a limited charge. which contributes to a sense of urgency and represents the need to conserve limited resources. Each object emits a unique sound which can only be heard nearby to provide an auditory guide to finding the right object. Finally, when an object is shot, it lights up to represent that it has been destroyed. We chose photos of space junk to hang around the room on pillows. We began with only pillows hanging in the middle of the room, but added more photos to the walls and floor to make the prototype more challenging. We used a flashlight to simulate the laser junk destroyer. We only charged the flashlight for 1 minute. We hoped that this time limit and dramatic background music would create an atmosphere of urgency and intensity. In our first iteration, we labeled the objects with numbers and told the player to find and shoot 3 numbers in 1 minute. We found that players focused on numbers without paying attention to the actual space junk. So in the second iteration, we got rid of numbers, and instead we made little cards with pictures corresponding to the space junk in our prototype. So we gave the player 3 different random cards and asked them to find the corresponding objects in 1 minute. Hello, we are astronauts on the International Space Station, and we need your help. A rare and beautiful solar eclipse will be happening soon, but Earth's orbit is full of debris like abandoned satellites, rocket parts, and garbage from previous missions. Some of this space junk is in the way of the Hubble telescope's view of the eclipse. We need you to clear away the junk. Here are pictures of the 3 pieces we need you to find and destroy. You only have a limited charge in your weapon, so find the right pieces quickly. Can you help us?